and vice versa. They can't expect us to give up the goods if we're not getting what we need because we're emotional. Men are not.
We don't. We are emotional, okay?
Well, okay.
I'm not lacking in emotions, okay?
You know what I mean.
No,
I'm talking about when it
communicate.
When it come time to getting a cookie, men they don't need no emotion. Okay? I'm just keeping it all the way.
Yes, we do. It depends on how the cookie is being eaten. Okay?
Welcome
to the J&O Show,
where we talk about
things that we were never told. I'm Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know. We trying something new. We trying to see if it works. If it don't work, be like, no, that was corny, man. Did it feel corny? It felt corny. No?
It was fine. If you're new to the channel,
please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We talk about relationships and love here. Yes. So if you in a relationship, you're trying to get in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, you would like to know why your relationships keep failing, you know what I'm saying, we might have something on the channel just for
maybe,
you know, possibly, you know what I'm saying, we just starting, so you might look down there and be like, yeah, I ain't got that many videos. But that would be when you go in the comment section and be like, I would like y'all to talk about, and then we could talk about it, and then you will know. Okay? And the reason that we can do that is because we is 15 years deep. 15, you know what I'm saying? So we've been doing this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not, yes, it's like, pal, something's gonna happen around here. Something's gonna happen. So today, we're gonna talk about expectations in marriage. You wanna start? You want me to start?
You can start.
Okay. Number one, about expectations in marriage. What you think you should expect. Then the first thing that you need to be concerned about with expecting anything, you need to know about communication. That is it.
This is true.
Because guess what? None of your expectations matter if you can't communicate them.
This is very true.
That's just how it goes.
Very true.
If you are a terrible communicator, good luck.
Yeah.
If you're a good communicator, good luck. Because the way that men and women process information is different. So you have to find out. Literally. Yeah, like biologically.
It's scientifically proven and everything. Yeah. I'm going to try and find
Caroline Leaf's video.
The video. Yes, and link it in the description. She's a neurosurgeon that I stumbled across a few years back.
Neurosurgeon or neuroscientist?
Neurosurgeon, scientist.
She's a neural person.
Yeah. About the brain.
Yeah.
And she like put us on some stuff when it comes to how we think differently, men and women, like biologically how we actually think differently, and that all ties into why or how we're designed to be able to work together. Because literally, like the way that we think, it's like men, they think big picture, women, we tend to think detailed. So, and you need both in order for you to be able to work together and work properly. But anyway, that was a sidebar. I'm going to try to find that specific video. She has a whole bunch of different videos which are really good, especially brain detox. I highly recommend checking that out. But I'm going to try to find the one specifically where she's talking about the differences between how men and women think. Yeah.
So since men and women think differently, communication between a male and a female counterpart is going to be challenging. Because you have to know enough
about. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. You have to know. First of all, there's male, female, and then there's just people.
Right.
Backgrounds, how you were raised, all of that stuff comes into one. So that's a thing that you have to know for like people who be like, yo, we just got married and did it in 3 months, and I mean, you might be good for like the first couple of years. Real talk. You might be alright for the first couple of years.
Okay.
But if you're talking about being like decades in, I don't know. I just say because everybody's different. But like sometimes people just get fortunate. You would say lucky, blessed, whatever. Sometimes people just happen to fall into the right situation, and sometimes people have to work at it and fight for it over and over again. Like everybody's different. I would always err on the side of caution if I was you, and you're talking about relationships, if you're talking about something that you're trying to make last forever. But you have to find out how to communicate to your specific partner and how to communicate across gender lines. So it's gonna take some work. So your first thing that you need to be expecting is to work on communication. Because even if you're a good communicator, like things can be lost in translation so easily, and you have to continually be talking to each other. A lot of times, you know, you ever had something happen and you had to tell your spouse or your mate or the person you're trying to make your spouse about it, and it wasn't necessarily a good thing, and you're like freaking out, like, oh, they're gonna think this, they're gonna crazy, they might leave me, or even if it's not that deep, I know it's just gonna be this big deal. And then when you go and talk to them, they're like, okay, so how we gonna fix it? And you be like, you were supposed to yell, kick, scream, and drag me down the hallway. I don't understand. You know, like those are the types of things that having good communication between you and your partner will help to subside, because it'll just become, you want it to become a habit for you to just go and tell them what happened, or to go and tell them how you're feeling, especially if you're dissatisfied with something, if you're not content or stuff like that. Lonely would be one of those things. If you're feeling anything like that, it needs to become a habit for you to just go and start having conversations about it and trying to figure out how to fix it.
Because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to make it.
Yeah. So communication is definitely number one. Communication is not necessarily an expectation, but if you have any expectations, you better learn how to communicate first.
Yeah, because you need to be able to communicate your expectations.
Do you want to take the next one?
Okay, so finances.
Yeah, I gave her that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, finances is definitely something that you and your spouse need to communicate. You need to talk about, or your significant other, before you guys actually tie the knot. Preferably you talk about it before, but if you don't, you definitely want to talk about it earlier on, and just talk about what that looks like what type of lifestyle do you plan on living, or would you like to live, because that all ties into finance. You probably want to find out who is better with finances, because whoever's better with finances, that needs to be the person to deal with your finances. That's okay, just stay in your lane. Work with what you work with and do what you got to do. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it's the male or female. Whoever works better with finances, that needs to be the person that works with finances. Doesn't mean that the other spouse is like totally out of the picture when it comes to their finances. You should still educate them on the different things that you're doing. But as far as handling of your monies when it comes to pay bills and different things of that nature, you should probably let the person that's more responsible with being able to pay bills on time, be able to save or invest, let that be the main person to deal with finances. I mentioned this before in one of our earlier videos, but I'm just going to mention it again because it's very important. With finances, you always want to make sure that finances is not a non-issue in your household, because finances is one of, if not one of the main reasons why people get divorces. So to avoid that, because you're going to have a whole bunch of other things you got to deal with, to try to alleviate some of the different things that can cause drama or issues or tension within your marriage, is you want to make sure that you make finances a non-issue by having a joint account that both of you have your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or whatever paychecks going into, so that is your main account to be able to take care of your house bills. It's the bank account to take care of the house and the bills. It's not a situation where, oh, okay, well, he got his bills and I got my bills. He got his credit cards, I got my credit cards. No. When you get married, the two become one. So therefore, you should have one account to take care of all of the household bills. Now, that does not mean that you cannot have side money for you to be able to take care of your own things, because you're both grown individuals. You should still have your own monies that you have for like weekly spending and different things of that nature, but you need to communicate these things and talk about it. That was something that our pastor gave us counseling about when we did marriage counseling before we got married, and it definitely I think has helped and saved us from a lot of arguments and a lot of just drama within our marriage. That was something that we've never, thank God, had to deal with, is money issues as far as, you know, finances in that realm. But I think that was all that I really wanted to mention about finances, just making sure that it was a non-issue is the main thing. And how you do that is by communicating, and you guys talking about what your expectations are as far as what you want your lives to look like, who works better with money, and making money a non-issue in the home when it comes to take care of the bills.
What I would talk about as far as finances is concerned is sort of being upfront with yourself about what you expect from your mate, and what you get when you're dating 9 times out of 10 is what you're going to get when you're married. if you have somebody who's ambitious, who's really trying to get certain things and going through the drama of trying to put it together, and maybe they, not necessarily that they have to have it all together, but you have to see not the talk, but the actions of I'm trying to go and get what it is that, you know, whatever. That's cool if you're the type of person who wants to live a certain lifestyle. If you want to have a house and, you know, a car, 2.5 kids and stuff like that, and you're looking for somebody who wants to have, you know, a certain amount of money coming in on their side. You know, do you want somebody, hey, I want to be making like 50 G's a year. Like, that's my goal, to get to that point so that we can get a house and we can get a car and be able to take care of stuff. And if you make, you know, 50 and I make 50, we good, you know. But be real with yourself. If you like, nah, I need somebody that make 6 figures because I want to stay home, take care of the kids, and they need to go out and we need to be able to live a certain lifestyle, then that's the type of person that you want. You have to work on yourself so that you're the complement to that side of it, and you have to decide, you know, how that looks. That's just a reality. The gold digger thing is a whole other thing. That means that that's all that matters to you. There's nothing wrong with finding somebody and being like, yo, what do you think about finances? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? Are you willing to work for it? Like, that's cool. Gold digging is, you know, how much you make. Okay, we can get married then. I don't care about your quirks. I don't care about what you want. I don't care about none of that stuff. All I care about is how much you make me. That's gold digging. Being for real about your finances is a necessity, and everybody's different. Everybody wants something different, and finding somebody that matches you on what you want financially is probably the best idea.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, these are going to be super short. We could do like a whole video on each thing. If you guys want it, just let us know. Comment.
Yes. Make sure you guys, if you're liking these golden nuggets, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Indeed.
And let us know in the comments, like he said, if there's something that you want us to expound upon. We're trying to make our videos a little bit shorter because we can be a little chatty at times. So yeah, so we're going to try to run through these tips, but you can put hashtag next show in your comments, so that way it's easier for us to be able to filter through and see what it is that you're interested in gaining more knowledge on, understanding on.
Okay, so next we have romance and physicality. Now, I named it that way very specifically for a specific reason, because remember that whole men and women think differently thing? That's why I said romance and physicality. Okay? Because men and women look at these things from different points of view. Both of them need them, but they look at them differently, and you usually have to provide one in order to get the other.
Right.
It's a shared thing. You both have to work on it. You both have something to give in marriage in concerns of that. If you can't expect for your husband to be giving you romance, whatever that is to you, is different for everybody. Everybody isn't dinner and, you know, take me out and give me flowers and everything. Everybody's not there. You know, whatever your thing is, you can't expect for your mate to give you that, and he's a man and you're not willing to give him physicality. Now we're talking about marriage. Now you just dating somebody, you don't owe them nothing. You're getting to know them.
Clank, clank.
You ain't got to drop no draws. It just is what it is. Now, once y'all start dropping draws, and let's say you're not married, but y'all been together for like 2 years, things change because you're dropping draws. And if you're expecting to still get certain things, and that needs to be a condition of the draws being dropped. And there has to be a equal back and forth giving, whatever the thing is.
I mean, I think you pretty much said it there. It's give and take. Just as he said, you know, as women, we can't expect our men to be romantic towards us and wine us and dine us, or whatever that is that floats your boat, if we are not giving them what they need, and vice versa. They can't expect us to give up the goods if we're not getting what we need, because we're emotional. Men are not.
We are emotional, okay?
Well, okay.
I'm not lacking in emotions, okay?
You know what I mean.
No,
I'm talking about when it
communicate.
When it come time to getting a cookie, men they don't need no emotion. Okay, I'm just keeping it all the way.
It depends on how the cookie is being eaten. Okay, Because you can't just give somebody a cookie. Some people like to take the cookie and bite it slowly and take their time, right? You know, all my chocolate chip lovers, you know what I'm saying? Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Some people, when they get a cookie, they go Cookie Monster on it. It's different. Okay?
Anywho, like I was saying, all right? For the most part, with guys, there's not a whole lot that they necessarily need to get them going.
Truth.
But for women, it's completely different because for us, it starts here. So if we haven't been stimulated up here, it's going to be really hard for us to be in the mood to want to be physical. Now, there are exceptions in every rule, but for the most part, overall, that's typically how it is. So that's the only part I think I wanted to add as far as the physicality part is concerned.
Truth. Okay, and our last point for this particular video is emotional support. It's a big one. It spans across a lot of different stuff, emotional support, and that's why it's a big one, because it sort of is tied into everything, because it's tied into communication. You can't have emotional support if you and your mate don't communicate. Find somebody that actually wants to communicate with you, because there's this thing between men and women where they're like, all she want to do is talk. I'm tired of talking, okay? But unfortunately, like, if you really want your marriage to work, you gotta let them talk to you. So here's what you do, guys. Find somebody that you want to talk to.
I know that was...
Yeah.
You ain't expect that.
Bruh, I'm telling you. That you can find a woman that you actually want to have conversations with. It's possible. It is possible to find some smart women out here, man. You can find, if you sit in there, you have a woman and you're dating, and guess what? You can love her and not want to talk to her. But I'm going to tell you, when you start talking decades, and
it's gonna be a problem.
In the beginning, you could probably do that, because you could just be like, man, when she start talking, I just leave, dog. Like, I don't even be there. You know what I'm saying? I just be out. But and we're talking about, in a lot of our videos, we are talking about how to have the absolute best relationship that you can. We believe that it is possible, right? Doesn't mean that the person that you can't, like, you can find somebody that has these things that you want, and it all starts with communication. If you can find somebody to communicate with you, you're halfway there, because you can tell them what you need, and you two can work on yourselves to be worthy of that relationship. So when you're talking about emotional support, you want to find somebody who cares about how you feel about stuff. Emotions aren't just dumb. They're there. They are to be used and utilized.
They're there for a reason. With
intelligence, but they're still real. Sometimes you can feel a certain way and sometimes you can feel a certain way and, like, maybe you're like, I know I shouldn't feel like this right now, but I do. You need to have a mate that you can say that to. Right. And they can be like, yo, I get it. You know what I'm saying? That it sucks. And let them get that out. Because sometimes, yo, guys, this is an amazing thing. I just figured this out. Look, right, I'm talking to the guys. Excuse me, I'm talking to the guys right now. All right, look, guys, it's an amazing thing, bro. No, it's an amazing... It's an amazing thing, man. Talking about how you feel, bro, it actually helps. It's the reason that they talk all the time. I'm so serious. It helps, bro. You could come home and have a hard day at work, and you leave your job, and you know you wanted to punch your boss in the mouth, and talk to her about it, and you'll be okay by the time you finish that conversation, man.
It helps.
It actually is a thing. I just had to let y'all know that. Just between me and you guys. The women were not listening to that. They were kind enough to turn away from the camera. You know what I'm saying? That actually works, bro. It does. So just like it worked for us, it works for them too. Sometimes you just gotta let them get it out. Every once in a while, I just let her go about work. Just go. Yeah, she did that. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with her? You wanna go beat her up? You don't wanna go beat her up? Okay, then what happened? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, just let it get it out of her system, because you need the emotional release, and you're not always going to have a friend there that you can talk to. You have to be able to talk to your spouse.
Yes.
Even if it's like, yo, I know these are nonsensical emotions and whatever, but you got to be able to emotionally support each other.
True. Oh, and also as far as friend. So one of the points that I just wanted to tie in as well is that I think a lot of times in marriage, when people are planning on getting married, they don't, of course, necessarily think about expectations, but they already have them set in their mind, but they don't communicate them. What do I mean? So for example, more often than not, a lot of us get married and we have an idea of what marriage is supposed to look like, whether it's something that we've seen on television, whether it was what we saw in our own household with our parents, friends' household, or something like that. We already have a certain idea of what marriage should look like. It's unfair to have that expectation in your mind and you don't communicate that with your spouse. It's important for you to understand that not every no two marriages looks the same, because no two people are the same, nor should they look the same, because my upbringing, my background, my experiences is going to make me a completely different person, and I'm going to have a completely different perspective. Same with him. He's going to have a completely different perspective with just his upbringing and everything like that. So it's okay for your marriage not to look like this idea that you have in your head. That doesn't mean, I'm talking about what marriages look like versus reality. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have certain standards. Like, if there are certain things you want for your life, by all means, yes, you need to communicate that, because you know what you want your life to look like. But what I'm saying is, don't be upset if you see someone else's marriage and they're always going out on dates and they're touring the world, you know, traveling Italy and all these different places, and you and your spouse just chilling at the crib most of the time, and y'all maybe go out once every 2 months or what have you. You can't be upset by that, because if you never let that expectation be known to your spouse that, hey, I want to be able to travel the world and this, that, and the third, then you can't be mad about it. You have to, whatever works for you, you have to work that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Don't expect to have someone else's life. You have to create your own life. And like I said, every marriage looks different. And if it's something that you struggle with, talk to someone you trust. Talk to someone who can give you good counsel. I would suggest someone who you actually see that has a healthy marriage, specifically in a particular area that you're trying to receive counsel in. I would go talk to someone about that. I wouldn't go necessarily talk to one of your homegirls that's gonna be your, you know, just co-sign everything you say just because they're, you know, they want to make you feel better or what have you. No. You need to talk to somebody who's going to be able to give you the real deal, no matter how good, bad, or ugly it looks, and tell you the truth all the time when it comes to these things in regards to your marriage, and try to, you know, make your marriage work and make things better. You want to make sure that you talk to someone who's going to keep it 100 with you.
So, I think that was our video.
Yes, that was it.
Yes, not as short as I was trying to go for, but shorter than it has been.
Yeah.
So, look, if you like that, the stuff that we were saying, if you agree, put in the comments. We was able to help you out, or if we missed something, put that all in the comments section.
Yes.
Like, share, comment, subscribe,
Yes.
post notifications,
Yes.
all that stuff down there in the section. Where my finger at? My finger ain't in the thing yet. Here it is. Put it in the section down there below. Or down there. Yes. Put it all down there. And we will see you guys later.
Deuces.
Press the off button.